mosquito district have to live in the mosquito district?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Because those people were part of the area we were gonna add on.
That's right, I bet they do have to be in the district. Yeah,
Very good point.
yeah, didn't even think about that, darn it. That might be why Jessica didn't have those names to give you.
Certainly.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right,
All right, that is all. We're meeting back here at 2:30 this
yes.
afternoon. Can we continue this discussion with the signing of the letters? I don't have letters obviously prepared with terms, but if I bring those this afternoon, would you be able and willing to sign them?
Yes. Yep, the motions were made, that's the important thing, so,
Certainly. All right, thank you.
thank you.
Chairperson, I have a question about, maybe Nicole can answer this too.
Okay.
Don't we? There's been talk about term limits, and I've heard about it, and I haven't looked at the policy for boards for a while. Is that a policy, or is it written in that? And if it's not, could that become part of the board policy?
Yeah, that came up last January as
Right.
part of Commissioner Andy Hunthausen's presentation from Lewis and Clark County.
Right,
Yeah,
but nothing's been done with it, right?
No, each board is responsible for writing their own bylaws.
Right.
That was just the recommendation passed down from that training through the commissioners. We have had discussions on this in the past. It is difficult to put term limits. As you can see, sometimes it's difficult to even get board members to apply. So
It
no,
would be
that's not
helpful.
been made a commission policy.
Okay. So is it going to be a commission policy? Or it just seems a little hit or miss right now?
well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily hit or miss, and that's something we can talk about, maybe we can put that on the agenda as a discussion, but the way we've applied it is like a lot of what we do, and Nicole, if you would take these originals, we'd like to empower the boards, but we also have to have good best practices. So if we can have the two without having a hammer, I think everybody benefits from that. So perhaps some language can be added that states we support long-term positions, or boards with long-term positions engaging new members as they're able. That would maybe help to answer Debbie's question.
It's just
So
come
we
up
can
a
work
few
on
times,
some
some
words.
clarification with some openings for adjustments would be handy.
Yeah, I think Nicole kind of addressed it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to make a comment. You made a comment about the trust board having $3 million. Excuse me, I'm also fighting a cold. And I'm not sure I got your whole point, but that is due to very conservative financial management. And it's actually, I think, 2.8 now. And that is a very good thing for this county because it doesn't use taxpayer money for any of these projects we do. So it's a board to be proud of and embrace. Thank you.
And I think Debbie's 100% right. I think there's been a lot of respect of the trust board, of your management of money. It is taxpayer money, it's just not derived from property taxes. But I think Debbie is 100% right on that, so thank you very much for making that point. So next, we're a little bit behind. Daryl Folkford, Commissioner, County Website Options. The floor is yours, kind sir.
All right, thank you. So we started this, a couple of months ago and kind of stalled out because we got pretty busy towards the end of the year. So I'll bring this back to the top of the pile. But I think we've all sat in on a couple of webinars on a couple of sites that we were interested in, and we had a chance to see them do a demo of their software products. It came down to, I think, probably the two that everybody's seen that they were interested in was the Civics Plus and the Most Wanted Government websites. So I think you all have the spreadsheet that I made. Did you bring yours, Mike? You can look on mine. So the spreadsheet tells what the cost is, what the annual service costs are, and then on the notes was just kind of some of the highlights of what they were offering. So Civics Plus CMS is the complete website package, and it's pretty robust. It does some of the other counties or, let's see, let me get my, the right page here. Agencies that are currently using that, Butte, Silver Bow, Kalispell, Missoula, Gallatin County, just to name a few, are using the CMS website. So initial cost is $9,300. Or they do have an alternative payment plan, which would be $5,350 for the first 3 years, and then $2,365 for the fourth year. If that worked out better for us budget-wise, that's something that we could do. Annual service cost to maintain that site and to have the folks that could help us manage it is $2,250. They're based in Manhattan, Kansas. Their stuff is cloud-based, no servers required. We have unlimited pages, and they do a nightly off-site backup 24/7. So the unlimited support for 4 years, and then they are ADA compliant, which is pretty much a requirement nowadays. Folks that are handicapped can, the reason that the ADA compliance is important is folks that are visually handicapped, when they see what's on the screen, it actually speaks to them, tells them what's on the screen as they move around, because they can't see it. So that's becoming actually a federal requirement. And so that's why it's important to have a site that does that now. Some of the options that we looked at for the Civics Plus was the Civic Clerk, which was a meeting agenda and management software, and also included the meeting live streaming and archiving. Now, there is some limited agenda meeting management stuff that comes with the original website package, but this would be in addition to that. And what that would allow us to do is help us to manage our agendas, timestamp our agenda to the live stream video as it's being made, so when it's archived, if folks were just interested in a specific topic, they wouldn't have to watch the whole video. They could go to the timestamp that aligns with the agenda item, fast forward to that, and listen to that portion. That's the advantage of having that. The initial cost of that's $11,625 for, and that actually includes the Civics Clerk and the video software. They're actually two, but they combine the price for that. So, and then it's $8,800 to maintain that over the year, each year. And part of that is because of the storage, all the archive videos. They call it on demand, basically like on demand TV that you have at home. It archives, you can go up, and then as we start building our database, we can go pull up whatever video, whatever day, whatever meeting is that we want to, and it'll always be there and be available for us, and that would be maintained for us. So it includes the live streaming, on-demand video, unlimited storage, and we'd have the option also, we don't have to do the Civic Clerk portion. If we thought we didn't need that right away, that's something we could do later. And if we wanted to just do the CP media for the live streaming and on-demand video, that would be a $6,000 investment. So that's how that breaks down. Any questions on the Civics Plus software?
Questions for Daryl? All right.
Okay. Next is the Most Wanted Government's website. Their package, initially when I talked to them, it was right around the same cost in that $10,000 range. But I told them we were a poor county and we needed some help. And so they said that they could provide this package to us for $5,090. It's not quite as robust as their original $10,000 package, but it would probably be adequate to meet our needs. And they also have an alternate payment plan. They didn't really tell me what that was, but if we needed to spread out the payments, we could do that as well. Their annual website maintenance is $1,995. They are based in Mountain Home, Arkansas, have 24/7 unlimited support for the life of the website, and they only do 28 consecutive days of backup off-site, and they are also ADA compliant. Our sheriff's office uses the Most Wanted Government's website. They're happy with them, and I think that it would be a good choice as well. I asked them if they had the clerk and the video modules. They were a little bit limited as compared to Civics Plus, but said that they could pretty much do close to the same thing as far as for the meeting management. The only difference is on the video portion, they really didn't have a dedicated live stream and on-demand system. Their suggestion was to use either the third-party vendor, or they suggested the private YouTube account. And so those were the options with them. So there's really no cost, or we don't know what that is yet. It depends on the solution we choose for those folks. I did check into what it is to do a YouTube account. There's several different ones you can use. You can use the public one, which allows anyone to search or view a video. The private one, your videos are more private, but the only thing about that is you can only choose up to 50 people to view those. And then there's an unlisted one, which is kind of puts you in between the two of public and private, and it just allows the videos to be seen and shared by anyone with a video link. My only question with that, and I don't know the answer to this, is there a security issue with using YouTube, or if we wanted to use it down the road for some legal thing, would there be a problem? I don't know the answer to that.
The answer is no.
If it's okay,
It's
since
this,
it's in public domain, I guess that was my
Right.
question. I don't know.
so we have a public YouTube page
Right.
right now that
Mhm.
holds all our videos.
Yeah,
That was set up by our county attorney, Carla Bossi, years
Okay.
ago.
yeah.
These meetings are all totally open to the public,
Mm-hmm.
so there's absolutely no issue with putting videos of these meetings on public
Right.
site. Private, I think you'd have some legal problems.
Right.
Limited or whatever,
Yeah,
can't read my writing. Unlisted, because it's not public, you'd have an issue.
right,
Public, there's absolutely no reason why we can't put videos up, and there's no cost,
right.
so.
Yeah, and so I guess I haven't really gone back in, do we have an actual archive for our YouTube videos, or is it just by searching by a date or something like that? How's that been in the
You
past?
can, anybody who's searched YouTube,
Mhm.
you put in what you're looking for and it pops up.
Mhm.
It's just like Google.
Sure,
So you can go to our page and look it up, Commissioners Broadwater,
right,
and they're all there. Or you can put in the search line, the date that you're looking for, Broadwater County Commissioners, and it'll pop up. And if there's multiple parts, the first one will play, then the second, then the third, then the fourth.
and we can use those, like, say if we had some legal issue, we can use those in court and they'll,
We used them in
Just
the
give them-
court trial with John Wright.
all right,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, so that's, definitely an option, for whatever we decide to do. Any questions on Government's Most Wanted? No? I did on my spreadsheet include some other places that I did look at Sky Point Studios out of Billings. And yes, they were a lot less expensive, but it was pretty limited on the website they could build for what we want to do. I mean, they were excited to do it, but it may not meet our needs. There is some optional equipment if we were to choose the live streaming and on-demand video option. We probably would have to have a laptop or a dedicated PC for it, and we would have to purchase an encoder for the video feed, so it would correspond with the audio feed. And that's, we guess, Mike's done a lot of research on that, Mike Meyer. And with us doing the work to install it, which I think that's pretty straightforward that we could do that, we'd probably be into that about $5,000. Early on in the process, we did reach out to a company called AVI Systems. They could do the complete audio, video, encoder installation, which include the live streaming on demand. And at that time, we were looking at some ceiling speakers, but our new site the meeting room that we're proposing already has speakers built in and is wired for video cameras, so that's a plus for us. We wouldn't need that. That was $33,300, and then there was an annual $4,100 service fee to maintain that, and that did not include a website package. So that's what I have so far. Maybe, I guess if whatever we settle on, I think we need to have another webinar, so everybody can watch it and make sure, have them do their presentation, and make sure that's going to meet all of our needs.
So, question for you, the equipment for done in-house number 12, that would only be required if we did not go with Civics Plus or Government Most Wanted, correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yeah,
that would be if we did it ourselves.
that's what we did ourselves, and we chose the YouTube option, or there was another third-party vendor that she made a suggestion on, and I went on and looked at their site, and that's, that could be a way we go as well, but, the YouTube option is by far the most less expensive, and if it meets our needs, I think we should try it. If we run into some issues with it, then we can make a change down the road, but I don't think that we will. Oh, Mike, go ahead.
I think, now if I remember right, we had to supply our own equipment for the video and the encoder and stuff, even the Civics Plus and all of them.
Yes, yeah, right,
Okay,
we do. We would have to supply this, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's not hard to set up, I did a lot of,
Right.
looked at it quite a bit.
Mhm. I guess the advantage of that system is it's pretty much a plug and play thing. We come in, we turn it on, it takes care of itself. It live streams it, it archives it. With the YouTube option, then somebody has to manage that. I
We
mean,
just have to download it from
Yeah.
the computer onto the, YouTube or
Mhm.
onto our website.
right. So that would be the only kind of, I think, the big difference I would see between those two options.
yeah. So there's really two options that you would like to maybe move to the top,
Mm-hmm.
Civic Plus or Government Most Wanted. And for either of those, we actually do need to have the additional equipment done in-house, because we have to buy our own equipment. Is that right?
We do.
Okay.
Yep. Laptop, the encoder, the microphones, and the
Mhm.
cameras.
Yeah.
If
that-
you,
I'm sorry, that was something I didn't really mention in here. Did that $5,000, Mike, did that include the microphones and the PA system that we were
Yes.
looking at? Okay. So that's not too bad for all of our,
The audio mixer,
Right.
all of it.
mhm.
is there an interest that we'd have to pay to go with the alternative payment plans versus paying it all up front?
I seen what did they put on there, 5%? Annual plus 5% technology fee.
Okay.
I did see that there. Yeah,
Well, the thing to think about is, this isn't a one-year investment, this is an investment you make in 1 year that lasts
right.
for decade or decades.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
that's, you know, I think whenever we choose something like this, it, like you were saying, lasts for decades and people way beyond us, we need to kind of factor that in.
Yeah,
Because I think that everybody's been involved or seen situations where they jump into something and then 3 years later, they either outgrew it or it didn't fit their needs, and then you have to make that investment again. I don't want us to get in that situation.
right. What we could do if you want is schedule each of these to give us a webinar. We could do
Sure.
it right here, just with the TV in back.
Yeah.
And then have a decision, maybe, like if we did a Wednesday meeting,
Mhm.
we could either have a decision the next Monday or the Monday after that,
Yeah.
and move this along so we can actually get this started. It's going to take,
Oh,
How many
that's the
months?
other issue. You know, I think I might have misstated here a couple months ago when I gave this presentation. It's on Civics Plus, he said 12 to 15 weeks. On the, on the Government's Most Wanted, I believe it was a little bit less time, 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
I believe is what she told me. But, yeah. Says typically 6 to 8 weeks, depends on how fast we get the information to them and some different things like that. So, there's a little bit of a difference there. But I have a thought, and I don't know what you guys think of it. If we were to do this, I was looking at the new big screen TV that's in our courtroom. We could plug something to that and do it there where people could sit and everybody, we could, I don't know if we want to invite our department heads and things like that to look at this.
yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea for them to
I
see
think
what
it's
we're
a great
considering.
idea,
and
yeah.
then-
We could do them back to back.
Mhm,
That
right,
might be a good way to do it, so that one is fresh in our
Right.
mind.
right,
Yeah, and then just take like an afternoon.
okay.
And whoever can make it, makes it. We're not gonna get 100% ever.
No. And they could probably have the option of viewing it on their computer in their office if, you know, they would be kind of coming in and out or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great, and then we could give them time to give us feedback if they decided to do it that way.
Right.
Yeah, give people a chance to mull it over too, after
Okay.
seeing the presentations.
Yeah.
You wanna set that
Yeah,
up? and-
I'll get that set up.
Okay, excellent. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a quick one.
Debbie,
Joe,
if you
on
could step up to the podium.
Debbie Randa, Daryl, in your research, don't mean to add to your research.
Yeah.
but I've been researching counties in
Mhm.
Montana and Idaho. Jefferson County is about double our size in population. Their website is really user-friendly. And
Right.
do you run across who did theirs?
I didn't check on Jefferson County, no, I didn't.
I don't know if it's in-house or somebody else is
Mhm.
doing, but it's simple, but everything is there.
Right.
They even have their budget on there through November. It's like 87 pages or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
The nice thing about
So I
either,
don't-
yeah, I was gonna say about either one of these folks, we can design this any way we want. So if we see, like say Jeff County, that we say, hey, we wanna maybe pattern it after that, or we like some of the things they're doing, I think it'd be
Great.
very easy.
And I
to
didn't
do.
mean to add to your research, but
Yeah.
whoever did theirs did a great job.
Okay, right, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right. We do have a working meeting at 2:30. I have a couple of things to bring up. Do you guys want to wait until then to get some lunch, or do you want to do them now?
Mary.
Oh, sorry,
Oh, yeah, she's
I didn't see
gonna
you,
she's
Mary.
gonna report back to us.
that's right.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
I have, you know, we have incredible colleagues here at the county. I just appreciate everyone so much. Brendan actually looked on his phone. I didn't bring my phone to the meeting. Blue Book on the pickup
Yeah.
is between $12,000 and $14,000.
Okay.
So I think that we're getting a pretty good deal with this. So-
All right. Well, do we, as long as our meeting's on, we wanna go ahead and make the motion to purchase that? I would make the motion that the road department be able to purchase the, what is it? A 2014 Ford,
2014 Ford F-150
Yep.
3/4 ton.
some surplus property.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the road department to purchase the 2014 Ford F-150 vehicle as presented for $10,000. All those in, any public comment? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sure.
Thank you. Anything else I've forgotten? Nope. Okay. So do you guys, what we have is, I want to talk about the newsletter memo, budget article, and our staffing. We had an email about staff for sanitarian and staff for finance. You guys want to do that? Maybe, can we just do it now?
You can have to refresh my memory.
Okay, so I'll start with the personnel question. We have one employee who was hired as a full-time employee, 32 hours a week. And she would like to be less than 30. She does not want the
Oh.
health insurance benefit. We have another employee who was hired at 36 hours per week. She would like more hours, to 40. So there was an email exchange. I know you guys were on the conversation, but there was no resolution to it. My suggestion was we give the hours to, from sanitation to finance, and she is interested.
Yeah.
Are you guys good with that? Look it over and address it later?
Yeah, let's look over and address it later. I guess I haven't had a chance to talk with Nicole, because she was gonna kinda share it a little bit with Nicole, wasn't she?
Mhm.
How-
In which
How she feels
case-
about that. Is that gonna
She
be
was
okay?
involved in the emails.
Okay, yeah.
And so what we would do is just sit down with those folks and talk about what I would imagine is probably, there's GPSing and there's the website and addressing and minutes that could be done for the person working for planning. I don't think it matters if it's split between two, because they are different skill sets, or if it is all given to one person.
Right.
So, I think as long as we're willing to work together, and when you look at the different personalities involved, I think we have
Sure.
that.
I think we wanted to have a couple hours for the commission, too, on that, right?
We did, and so that's gonna become tight at some point, at some point, we're either going to have to bring a 29-hour employee up, although we do save money not having health insurance, and if that's our preference, then we could perhaps hire a part-time person in the near future. We need somebody to do minutes for weed. I think we could still cover that. And then also the 2 hours for the commission is included already
Right.
in the 36, so we don't necessarily lose that. And this employee is an absolute go-getter.
Oh, yeah.
I think what we could do to keep her stimulated is pile on and let her know.
Right.
Let us know if you get too overwhelmed. But right now, she's chomping at the bit for more to do.
I know she is.
Yeah, and for an employee, with an employee like that, that's exciting. And the best we can do, the worst we can do is not stimulate her. The most we can do is, okay, here you go. Take a bite out of this and let us know how it's working.
Yeah.
So we can address that again either this afternoon or next Monday, if you guys wanna do.
Sure.
And it's more ministerial, it's not,
Yeah.
we don't, negotiate with the public on how we address personnel.
Sure. I'm okay with talking about it this afternoon.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with talking about it, so.
Yeah.
So I have copies here somewhere. I emailed you guys each a memo for department heads about the newsletter structure. We talked about it a little bit at the department head meeting. Any input, any ideas for change, anything you want to discuss on that? And I'll have that memo here in just a second. I sent it twice.
Who's all on your committee? Your,
It's the people who've worked the most with us,
Mhm.
and so it is Anne, as she sits in on our meetings, finance and HR, and then also the person who does the website, so that would be Nicole.
Right.
And here's the memo. And the person who builds the newsletters.
Mhm.
And also, as you're reading, if something isn't clear, let me know so that we can put it into verbiage that is understandable and not confusing.
Is the plan to have area department, if they have something, submit it? If we have room in each one of these months that we're planning?
Yes. Now, department heads wouldn't submit for every single newsletter because they're
Right.
just too short.
Right.
And that's why we thought each one could have their time to at least have that half a page. It's between 200 and 250 words.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, and if a department head says, I'm really not interested or I don't have time,
Right.
we're not gonna force them. We want to, that's the purpose of the memo, is so that they can plan and give us feedback on what works for them.
Sure. And then another department could expand theirs if they wanted to.
Mhm. And we would know that in the planning steps of that newsletter.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great start.
Okay. I will perfect it then and send that out to department heads on behalf of the commission.
Mhm.
And then here is last year's State of this County article. So we ended up changing the newsletter, so that never went out. It just gives the truth about the budget to people. So a lot of that information is dated, but if you would give me some feedback on what you want to see, what you don't want to see. I was thinking bullets, because people don't generally read paragraphs. That was emailed 7 times last year, and I just got no response, so I wasn't sure if that was even a direction you guys wanted to go. And that's the other reason we just never went out. So, some of the facts have changed from last year to this year, but just give me some feedback on verbiage, what you want to see subtracted, what you want to see added, and then we'll have a mock-up if you guys are good to at least start with the foundation stuff that applies to this year.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I have for you is, are you guys good with sending out our Montana Historical Preservation letter to also the Montana Historical Association? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, we are. Have you had a chance, has Bill Jarocki contacted you to see if he's got some time for us?
He has and he does not. I don't know if that will change, I hope so.
Okay.
He did send us the article on putting together a county budget team, and I think we should proceed with that.
Okay.
I think we could work with Jason and get some good input if he can work with us. But Bill is swamped right now. Yeah.
All right. I think it's gonna be important here, as we go into this new budget year.
I
have
do
your
too.
input, so.
Yeah, and it might be the best way we have
Mhm.
of addressing some issues.
Yeah, do so, okay.
So if you guys are good moving forward with the budget, let me know.
Okay. And did we get our signatures then for the utility district for the 10? Did we get those? Okay. Okay. Very good.
We'll have that on the agenda for next week.
Beautiful.
Yep. So, yes, on the article, go ahead and take off with what we have so far.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
all right.
Um,
And that's not to say this is done, and absolutely like everything else, you guys will be getting multiple emails with all the different changes. But I just wanna know if that's a foundational place to start, then I can put some time into it. If it's not, I'm not gonna put the time in.
You know,
So that's what I'm
good
looking-
foundation for
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, that's all I'm looking for.
yeah.
All right, we'll recess then till 2:30, we'll be working meeting at that time.
Okay.
Thanks for coming. Sure.